How about you? I'm Hank. Welcome to Hamiltonville Farm. Today we got a really cool video showcasing the Homestead Implements Rototiller, and I don't know why we're tilling up our ground, but we are. Why are we tilling up our ground?
For a pumpkin patch.
We're doing pumpkins and sunflowers for Gina, okay? Let's get started. So this is our new Homestead Implements Rototiller. This thing weighs 727 pounds, right? So it's a hoss, right? It's got a 79-inch tilling width with a cutting depth of 7.5, 8 inches. Let's call it 7.5 inches. The overall width of the implement is 88 inches. It does have a 10-inch side shift capability on this model. This is the Pinnacle series here. This is their heavy-duty lineup. Let's get, Gina's like, enough talking, let's get this thing working.
I know, right?
Now the workhorse of this thing is gear-driven. It's got 11 flanges on it, and each one has 6 tines. So it's, I mean, look at that thing, man. That's going to do some serious tilling. Pretty neat. All right, Gina's like, let's get started. All right, so we're actually going to go 15 feet from that fence. We're going to go 15 feet. Look at them pretty flowers out there. You're doing a pretty good job on that flower farm stuff, Gina. All right, so we're going to do 15 feet, which is here, and we're going to go that way. And then we're going to make these, I don't know how many rows we're going to make. We'll figure that out. That's what we'll do. So what we decided, or I should say what Gina has decided, is that we're going to go 15 feet off the fence here. So here is our 15 feet marker on this corner, and we're going to do 80-foot rows, and then we're going to go 24 feet. Is that what we decided?
Wide.
Yeah, so 24, the whole patch of grass that we're going to till up will be 24 by 80. Now that we got the first corner set down here, we got another corner set here. We're going to go ahead and get this first pass, and then we'll measure and set the other corners over there, just because we've only got 2 T-posts. Actually using the auto function on the PTO. I never thought I would use that, but I am. So what you do is when you drop your implement, boom, the PTO starts on the auto function. So, you know, I always wondered if I was going to be able to use that on anything, but it's pretty cool because as I get to the end of the row, I obviously don't want to make a turn with the implement still in the ground. So I just simply, to get to the end of the row, I pull my hydraulic lever up to raise my implement, and the PTO quits spinning because I've got it in the auto function. Pretty neat. I like that. I didn't think I would. I do. It's pretty cool.
So now we're just going to go back over it several times and just really like loosen up all the grass, and then we'll rake it and then go over it again. Looking good.
Man, you want to talk about how strong this tiller is? Look, I honestly thought Gina pulled up a piece of wire. This is a piece of rebar that we didn't see that was buried in the ground. Look at that thing, man. Holy cow.
Twisted it like a pretzel.
Twisted it like a daggum pretzel, what I'm saying. So that's a strong piece of equipment. I honestly thought you were holding up a piece of wire when you did that. I'm serious. I was like, what?
I thought it was a snake when I looked down.
So we're going to make a couple more passes, try to get this as smooth as possible. So now what we're going to do is take the landscape rake and kind of just get some of this dead grass out. I mean, I know it's going to die, but we're going to get some of this dead grass. We'll rake it real lightly, and then we'll have a really nice fresh palette, if you will, to plant some sunflowers and pumpkins is what we're doing on this particular patch of grass. So the tiller worked really great, right? We've got the landscape cloth laid down our first row, and what we're doing is every 3 feet we're putting holes in the cloth. Well, I say we, Gina.
Yes.
Gina is actually putting holes in the cloth and filling it full of compost. What's going here, Gina?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins. All right, so pumpkins are going to go here every 3 feet, and then we're going to plant pumpkins, what, probably halfway, and then sunflowers the rest of the way, somewhere around in there. The Branson and Homestead Implements are getting it done. And it's only 6,000 degrees out here.
I know.
Now that we've got these 3-foot holes cut and the compost laid, we've actually got pumpkins growing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to set up a drip irrigation system so that we don't have to come out here and water it. And so the purpose of us putting this field where we put it was because it's close to a water source. And let me show you that. As I go over here to the water spigot, don't get mad because I laid the ladder down here. We ran out of pins and the big storm came the other night. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? But here's our water source here. And so we'll put our drip irrigation all along here to set up for the pumpkins. Look how nice those pumpkins are. Let me show you. Aren't those turning out nice? We put 3 pumpkins per mound at 3 feet apart. And this is how they're looking so far. And we're going to plant sunflowers on that side. When we set up our drip irrigation, we're going to use an inline fertilizer. So we bought an Easy Flow. I think we got it off Walmart.com or something like that.
Yeah, I normally get it from a different place, but they were out of it, so.
Yeah, I think we just got it off Walmart.com. But anyway, this thing right here, you have a timer that sets on our water spigot, and then this plugs in. You fashion it so that the water comes out of the spigot into this fertilizer dispenser. We actually have this same inline fertilizer system on our flowers, and it does a really good job, so we bought another one for our pumpkins. It has a rate of flow selection on top of the cap here, and the water comes in one side, picks up the fertilizer, and goes out the other side.
Yeah, so you use liquid fertilizer.
Yeah, liquid fertilizer for sure. It works really, really good. It's convenient. You don't have to come out here and fertilize your field every day. This is the drip tube we're using. It's just poly tubing, and it's got emitters every 6 inches. What we choose to do is we actually choose to space the product, be it flowers or pumpkins or herbs, whatever, in accordance with the emitter. And so what that means is, instead of I lay the pipe, we like to lay the pipe and see where the emitters are, and then we plant the seed beside the emitter.
We kind of did this a little different.
Yeah, so there's been a change of plans, right? We're not going to actually lay the drip tubing down. Gina decided that she wanted to go ahead and finish up the landscape cloth and put the compost piles here.
We had a pretty bad storm the other day, and you can see all this stuff that we've piled on top of it.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier.
Ladders and stuff, because we were trying to keep it off of the pumpkins. It was like blowing everywhere.
I did find another pack of staples.
Did you? Oh, great.
Yeah, so we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. Anyway, so we're going to finish up the actual rest of the patch here, get the landscape cloth down, get the holes, get the compost laid on it, and of course we'll use Brutus and the Homestead Implements for that.
Before we lay this last row down, he's going to come through here with the land plane. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like uneven and holes and stuff. We just want to get it to try to lay down as flat as possible.
Now, the only reason we're going to do 2 for right now is because we're going to bring in the compost to put on this one, and we'll come in from the side. That way the tractor doesn't have to traverse over all the landscape cloth that we just laid down. I hope this gives you an idea of what we're doing. Now that we're going to get this compost row planted here, This is one more row of pumpkins, and then we'll get a row of flowers and a row of sunflowers. And then we're going to actually open it up to the public so they can come pick pumpkins and sunflowers during the fall, bring their children out here and things like that. So we don't have too much more to do. Once we get these rows of flowers and pumpkins laid, we'll put the drip irrigation and that fertilizer that we showed you about earlier, and we'll be done. And it's going to be awesome come fall. Man, I'm telling you, this Branson tractor coupled with this Homestead Implements, it really gets the job done. If you want to save 5% on Homestead Implements, you can use the code HANK5. And if you're a veteran or military, active duty, guard, reserve, retired, you can use US Vet 10, and that'll get you 10%. Everybody gets free shipping in the continental US. As always, there's going to be this little white circle right here. Click on it to subscribe. Underneath it is another video of us doing some work with the Branson tractor with Homestead Implements. Click on that. You guys take care. God bless.